Mitch McConnell is finding himself disagreeing with a number of Republicans, even Donald Trump, when it comes to the best way to proceed with the impeachment trial in the Senate. Now, Mitch McConnell wants to get through the process as quickly as possible because he thinks that the possibility of calling witnesses is too much of a wild card. There might be information that isn't known yet that could be revealed through that trial that could be damaging to Republicans in some of these swing districts. However, people like Donald Trump want this trial to take its time because they think that it could actually help them, and there is some evidence to that point. So let me give you all the details according to this report by the Wall Street Journal. On the verge this week of becoming just the third US president to be impeached by the House, Trump doesn't just want to be acquitted in the Senate trial that would follow, these people say. He hopes to be vindicated. And he thinks, taking your time and making it seem like nothing more than a witch hunt will make him vindicated, right? So I wouldn't mind a long process, Trump said, suggesting that a Senate trial expected to begin in January would be used to unmask the whistleblower, settle scores with House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, and undermine others who view his dealings with Ukraine as highly improper. In fact, he talked about it in front of White House reporters. Let's take a quick look at that.
Mr. President, do you prefer a short process in the Senate or a more extended process?
Well, I've heard Lindsey Graham, who's terrific, and I heard his statement, and I like that. And I'll do whatever I want. Look, we did nothing wrong. So I'll do long or short. I've heard Mitch, I've heard Lindsey. I think they are very much in agreement on some concept. I'll do whatever they want to do. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't mind a long process because I'd like to see the whistleblower, who's a fraud. The whistleblower wrote a false report.
The whistleblower doesn't matter. The whistleblower doesn't matter. You have over a dozen people who are either formerly in Trump's administration or currently in Trump's administration testifying against him, providing evidence against him in this impeachment process. The whistleblower doesn't matter. He's so obsessed with the whistleblower.
As we've said 100 times, the whistleblower is like the guy who called 911. But you already have, it's actually 17 witnesses who saw the crime in that analogy. Okay, so who cares who called 911? We have the witnesses. Anyway, here's the most important part. Now, if I thought Mitch McConnell might listen to me, I wouldn't say this, okay? But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna care what we think, so let me tell you the reality. McConnell's right, Trump is wrong. If the Republicans were smart, they'd get this trial over in 2 hours, let alone 2 weeks. They'd all come in, be like, no witnesses, okay, terrible, inappropriate, not guilty, move on, okay? Trump is an idiot. He wants to bring more witnesses like Hunter Biden and Adam Schiff and people that are like totally irrelevant. Why? Because he's not smart. He's not smart. You open the door to more witnesses. Maybe if you take long enough and you open enough doors to witnesses, maybe John Bolton comes and testifies. So the longer it drags out, the worse it is for Trump, and he's gonna dig himself into a hole because he can't help himself. Please let it be a longer trial.
So I partly disagree, right?
Okay.
Because, and this is depressing, but apparently since the impeachment process started, Trump has actually increased his support in some of these battleground states.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. No, I hear you. I saw the polls, and so there's two different sets of polls. First of all, every poll shows about 51% of the country. Sometimes it's 49, sometimes it's 50, but oftentimes it's 51% that say Trump should be impeached and removed from office. There's the nonstop spin about how Trump is winning when 51% of the country thinks the president should be removed from office. Okay, so that is not remotely winning. Now, he has improved a little bit in some of the polls in the battleground states, not enough to win, okay? And why? I'm now more firm in my conclusion about how the Democrats should have proceeded. We talked about the articles of impeachment and were there enough? There was 2. Nah, they
bungled.
They bungled it again. I'm positive they should have gone with 5. They should have, and it shouldn't have been just broadly abuse of his office because it's vague. It should have been crimes. And now having read all of the deliberations here, I think that the Democrats are afraid of putting specific crimes because then they're like, well, this is a political thing and it's not a crime, and what if we can't prove the crime, blah, blah. No, he did it, guys. Campaign finance violation on Ukraine, on the mistresses, obstruction of justice, 10 counts on Mueller, etc. They should have hit him with everything they got, show all the criminality. Now they're trying to, but the Democrats have internalized, as always, oh my God, anything we do is gonna help the Republicans. Let's not do it, let's not do it. Let's do it as little as possible. Let's just run away, right? So what that has created in the battleground states, a little bit of a feeling of like, wait, what? I thought there was gonna be more to this, right? I thought they were gonna charge him with crimes, but all they charged him was obstruction, which is a crime, but and an abuse of office. I don't know what abuse of office is. So that's why I think the Democrats are bungling this, and maybe it helps Trump a little bit in that sense. But for God's sake, fight. If you fight, it doesn't help him. Obviously, it hurts him. The minute they started impeachment, his numbers went down. Remember, his numbers went down when they started impeachment. But when they were soft on impeachment is when the numbers that you're talking about showed up. But still, it's not good enough. Still, more than half the country wants him removed from office.
You're right. They did start off fighting, but keep in mind from the very beginning, and also during the Russia investigation, they ran away from the financial crimes as if it was gonna give them a disease. Like they didn't want to investigate it, they didn't want to look into it. There was more than enough evidence, or at least probable cause, to do an appropriate investigation into that, including his own personal lawyer testifying under oath that Trump committed fraud in both filing his taxes and obtaining loans. None of that stuff matters to Democrats.
Yeah.
And look, this is obviously now speculation because you can't know for sure, but I think they don't want anyone to look into their own financial crimes.
Anna, 100% right.
Come on.
No, now like it's so frustrating, and I keep looking at it like, what broke the camel's back today, if you will, is I'm like, why not do the campaign finance violations? It is the clearest violation of the law I've ever seen. First of all, on the mistresses and the hush money, his co-conspirator is in jail right now. He went to prison. He went to prison for that same crime, not a similar crime. The same crime he committed with Donald Trump. They robbed a bank together in that analogy, okay? Yep. They committed, and one guy's in prison and the other isn't. And then on Ukraine, if you watched any of the Young Turks coverage of this, you know we've been saying from day one, even asking for assistance from a foreign country into your campaign without quid pro quo was already a crime. It's clearly a crime, campaign finance violation. So then I realized today, oh my God, the Democrats, they're worried about if they have campaign finance violations. That's why they're not bringing it up.
That has to be it, because I don't understand, they hate Trump. Maybe not as much as they hate progressives, but they hate Trump, right? And so I don't understand why they would limit themselves, limit the scope of the impeachment investigation, why they would needlessly go out of their way to focus on charges that are so vague and also so complex for the American people to understand, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that to insult the intelligence of the American people. I'm saying that because you're right, Cenk. When you hear abuse of power, well, what does that mean? It's too vague, be specific. What has he done exactly that's an abuse of power? And look, one thing that Americans understand is money, right?
Yeah.
And so if there is a criminal exchange of money, if there are bribes, people understand that. People are furious about that. The fact that Democrats have shied away from honing in on that and really emphasizing it is I don't know, it's a curious decision.
No, absolutely, man. We talked about how Richard Neal didn't go after that's the head of the House Ways and Means Committee, part of Democratic leadership. He didn't go after Donald Trump's taxes. And then we found out, it turns out he has not released his own taxes. Oh my God. And so then they don't want to go into his business dealings. Why? Because they don't want to go into Democrats' business dealings. They don't want to charge him with campaign finance violations because Trump keeps saying, oh yeah, I'll look into you. And that threat has been the most effective threat that he's ever used. Because when Trump says, you look after my money, I'll go after your money. Democrats go, no. The abuse of power, kind of obstruction. Let's get out of here, let's not talk about the money. God, they're the worst. So now what we are in is, as usual with Trump and Democratic leadership, is we're in a bungle off.
Yes.
Okay, who's gonna bungle this more? Democrats so far, like in the beginning, Trump took the lead, the Democrats at least did the impeachment. In the beginning, actually I should clarify, they didn't impeach for years when they had enough information on the hush money payments, etc. So Democrats were winning the bungle off, but then Trump bungled the Ukraine call and the Ukraine thing so badly, the Democrats had to impeach him. He takes the lead. Now then the Democrats go, oh yeah, we won't charge you with the worst crimes. The Democrats take the lead again in the bungle off.
Yes.
But I think based on this story that we're giving you here, Trump at the end might be like, no, hold my beer. No one's gonna outbungle me. I could have gotten out of this in 2 weeks and been done with it and get to say I'm acquitted, but no, I want it to be longer and call up nonsense witnesses and drag it out until I get myself in so much trouble I accidentally get myself convicted. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.